Have you ever felt like your English is almost good, but not fluent yet? You can understand most words, but when you try to speak, your mind goes blank. Many learners reach this level, this intermediate plateau, but they can't seem to move up to that confident, fluent C1 or C2 level. Today, I'm going to help you break that wall. In this masterclass, you will learn how to think in English, how to speak smoothly and naturally, and how to train your listening every day, just like native speakers do. And make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I'll reveal the simple secret that will change how you listen to English forever. Part 1. What real fluency means. First, let's talk about what fluency really means. Fluency is not about speaking fast. It's not about using giant, complicated words. And it is absolutely not about losing your accent. To speak like a native means something much simpler. It means speaking in a way that is natural, relaxed, and real. It means speaking like a human being, not a textbook. In fact, many native speakers do not speak perfectly. We make small grammar mistakes. We stop and restart our sentences. We use simple, short phrases. What makes speaking sound native is not perfection. It's the flow, the rhythm, the tone, and the use of real, everyday English. Part 2. How fluent speakers think. So, what makes fluent English speakers sound confident and natural? It's not just their grammar or vocabulary, it's the way they think. When fluent speakers talk, they don't translate word for word. They think directly in English. They focus on the meaning, not on individual words. They allow for mistakes. They focus on connection, not perfection. Imagine two learners. Learner A thinks like this. Okay, I want to say this sentence. How do I say that in English? What's the right tense? What's the grammar rule? Learner B thinks like this. I just want to share my idea. I'll use the words I know. It's okay if it's not perfect. Who speaks faster and more fluently? Learner B, of course. When you focus on perfection, your brain freezes. When you focus on communication, your brain flows. If you want to move from B1 to C2, you need to think like a fluent speaker. Part 3. Thinking in English, step by step. Now, let's talk about how to train your brain to think in English. It doesn't happen overnight, but you can practice it every day in small ways. Here's a simple 3-step exercise. Step 1. Describe your world in English. Look around you right now. Say what you see out loud or in your head. For example, my desk is clean today. There's a cup of coffee next to my laptop. I hear birds outside the window. That's it. Simple English, spoken naturally. Step 2. Talk to yourself in English. When you do something, describe it. I'm making breakfast now. I'm walking to work. I'm checking my phone. This builds a direct connection between your thoughts and the English language. Step 3. Reflect in English. At the end of the day, talk to yourself for just 1 minute in English. What happened in your day? What was good? What was difficult? For example, today was a busy day. I had a lot of meetings. I was tired, but I learned something new. Practice these 3 steps every day, and your mind will slowly start to live in English. Part 4. The power of shadowing. Let's talk about one of the most powerful tools to reach fluency: shadowing. Shadowing means you listen and speak at the same time. You repeat what you hear word for word, with the same rhythm and tone. It's like singing along to your favorite song, but for English conversation. This technique trains your mouth, your ears, and your brain to work together. It helps you develop the music of English, its natural stress, sound, and emotion. Let's try a short shadowing exercise together. Listen first, and then I will read it again, line by line, for you to repeat. Listen. When I was a child, I loved listening to the rain. The sound was soft, peaceful, and made me dream. Now, let's shadow it together slowly. Repeat after me in the pause. When I was a child, I loved listening to the rain. The sound was soft, peaceful, and made me dream. Very good. When you shadow, your ears learn the real sound of English. You start noticing how words connect, how listening to becomes listening to. This is how native speakers hear and speak naturally. Part 5. The active listening habit. Shadowing is a great output exercise, but it must be paired with powerful input. Listening is like breathing for language learners. You must hear the language every single day. But not just any listening. You need active listening. Active listening means focusing on meaning, rhythm, and emotion, not just hearing words. Many learners think listening is passive. You just press play and let your brain do the work. But that's not true. Real listening is active. It's like a workout for your ears. Native speakers listen in chunks, not word by word. For example, when you hear, "Did you eat yet?" it often sounds like one word, "Jeet." When you hear, "I am going to go," it becomes, "I'm gonna go." If you try to understand word by word, you'll get lost. But if you listen for the main idea, you'll understand the whole sentence easily. This is the first secret. Don't listen for words, listen for ideas. Part 6. Speaking naturally, linking and reductions. Now let's talk about how to make your own speech sound smooth and natural. This is where everything begins to connect. Natural English has rhythm, tone, and emotion. It sounds relaxed and smooth, not robotic. The first step is to learn how native speakers link words together. We don't speak word by word. We blend the words together. For example, instead of turn off the light, we say turn off the light. Instead of talk about it, we say talk about it. The second step is to learn reductions. This is how English speakers make words shorter when speaking fast. Here are the most common ones. Going to becomes gonna. Want to becomes wanna. Got to becomes gotta. Let me becomes lemme. Give me becomes gimme. Let's practice a few. Repeat after me in the pause. I'm gonna call you later. I wanna go home now. I gotta study tonight. Let me check my phone. Gimme a second. Very good. You don't have to use these all the time, but understanding them is essential for both listening and sounding natural. Part 7. The music of English, stress and tone. Every language has its own music. In English, we stress certain words more strongly than others to show what is important. Listen to this sentence. I didn't say she stole the money. If I stress different words, the meaning completely changes. I didn't say she stole the money. This means someone else said it. I didn't say she stole the money. This means I said someone else stole it, not her. I didn't say she stole the money. This means maybe she borrowed it. See how the stress changes the meaning? To sound natural, you must feel this rhythm. Tone or intonation is the rise and fall of your voice. It tells listeners how you feel. For example, if I say the word really with a flat voice, it sounds bored. If I say really with a rising tone, it sounds surprised. If I say really with a falling tone, it might sound like I don't believe you. When you speak, don't be afraid to use your voice. English listeners understand your emotion through your tone, not only your words. Part 8. Advanced vocabulary, naturally. Many learners think that to sound advanced, they must use big, complicated words, but actually, fluency isn't about complexity. It's about clarity and precision. A great way to sound more fluent is to upgrade your basic words. Instead of very big, you can say huge, enormous, or massive. Instead of very good, you can say excellent, fantastic, or amazing. Instead of very tired, you can say exhausted. Instead of very happy, you can say thrilled or delighted. Let's practice. I'll say a basic sentence, and I want you to repeat it with the more advanced word. Basic. The movie was very good. Better. The movie was fantastic. Basic. I'm very tired today. Better. I'm exhausted today. See? You sound more fluent and expressive, but still completely natural. Another key is to think in phrases, not just words. Native speakers use chunks of language. For example, instead of thinking at the end of the day, we think of it as one chunk, at the end of the day. Here are some common chunks to practice. It depends on. For example, it depends on the weather. I mean, used to clarify your idea. I mean, I really wanted to go. You know what I mean? Used to check if your listener understands. Kind of or sort of, used to soften your opinion. It's kind of hard to explain. When you learn and use phrases like these, your speaking will sound much more natural. Part 9. Flowing in real conversations. So, how do we put all of this together in a real conversation? The goal is to connect, not to be perfect. When someone asks you, "Hey, how are you?" don't just say, "I'm fine, thank you." That's a textbook answer, and it often stops the conversation. Instead, try something more natural that adds a small detail. "I'm good, thanks. It's been a busy day, but I'm happy." "I'm doing pretty well. How about you?" By adding a small detail or asking a question back, you are opening the door for a real conversation. When you are in a conversation, remember that it's a dance. You take turns. Don't be afraid to use filler phrases to give yourself time to think. These are not mistakes, they are fluency tools. Well, let me think. That's a good question. I haven't thought about that before. If someone asks you, "What's your favorite book?" Instead of freezing, you can say, "Well, that's a good question. I think my favorite is Harry Potter because it's so imaginative." See? The filler phrase gave you a few seconds to organize your thoughts, and you sounded completely fluent. Part 10. Handling difficult situations. Finally, what happens when you're in a high-pressure situation, like a job interview, and your mind goes blank? You freeze. First, breathe. Before you speak, take one slow, deep breath. This calms your brain and makes your voice sound more steady. Second, if you don't understand the question, don't panic, rephrase. Ask for clarification. This does not make you look weak, it makes you look professional. "I'm sorry, could you please repeat that? Could you say that another way, please? Let me make sure I understand. Do you mean?" Third, if you forget a word, don't stop. Use a simpler word or describe what you mean. If you forget the word efficient, you can say, "It works very well and saves a lot of time." Remember, the goal is communication, not perfection. The final secret. You've made it. We've come on an incredible journey from B1 to C2 fluency. You've learned how to think in English, how to listen actively, how to use the rhythm and music of the language, how to upgrade your vocabulary, and how to handle difficult situations with confidence. And now, for the secret I promised at the beginning. The simple secret that separates fluent speakers from lifelong learners is this: fluency is not a destination, it's a lifestyle. It's not a test you pass, it's not a mountain you climb, it's the daily habit of engaging with English. It's the daily decision to listen, to speak, even to yourself, to read, and to think in English. Fluency is the result of all the small, consistent habits we practice today. So, my challenge to you is this. For today's practice, write down 3 simple habits you will start from this masterclass. For example, 1. I will narrate my morning routine in English for 3 minutes. 2. I will practice shadowing one podcast for 5 minutes. 3. I will upgrade the word very good to fantastic in one conversation. Choose your habits and share one of them in the comments below. I can't wait to see your commitment. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom English podcast channel to watch our next videos.